Assalamualaikum. My name is Azrai Hafizi bin Muhammad Remli. Metric number 290925. Today, we will make a presentation on the topic of career and studying for the subject SBLE 2113.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, hi. My name is Nur Hafizullah bin Ramli. My matrix number is 291098. Okay, me and my buddy will discuss about our career and studying. So let's begin. Hey Azrai, I didn't think juggling a career and studying for a degree will be this hard. Every day feels like a marathon. How are you managing with your workload at JPJ, Azrai?
Oh, don't get me started. I thought it's been straightforward. Just time management, right? But between the work at JPJ and the demands of our public management degree, it's been exhausting. We got so much going on at the department right now. With the digitization of service and new policies coming in, I barely get time to sit down and study. What about you? I imagine training new police recruits keeps you busy too.
Busy doesn't even cover it. You know how training goes? It's not just the physical aspect, but also planning the sessions, reviewing performance, managing paperwork, and now I have to balance that with research papers and assignments for the degree. It feels like I'm constantly bouncing between two worlds.
Yeah, and it's funny how those worlds are connected, yet different, like what we're studying in public management. Whether it's a leadership theories or public policy, it all applies to our work, but still, it adds another layer of responsibility. How do you find time to keep up with both?
Honestly, I don't even know how I am doing it half the time. I've started waking up earlier, squeezing in reading during lunch breaks, and I've even cut back on social activities. I never thought I miss hanging out with friends this much. My weekends are basically gone, all thanks to assignment and studying for exams.
Same here. My weekends are dedicated to catching up on reading or working on group projects. And with JPJ especially, now that we're pushing new regulations and updating our system, I feel like I'm juggling two full-time jobs. The only time I get some breathing room is when I'm in the office handling paperwork or responding to emails.
I can relate. Even when I'm on the training grounds, my mind's sometimes on the latest public administration theory we just learned. And then, during my study time, I can't stop thinking about how to incorporate better leadership techniques into our training program. The lines between work and study are getting blurred.
Exactly. It's the same with me. We've been studying governments and service delivery model, and I'm constantly thinking about how those ideas could improve the vehicle registration process at JPJ. We need to become more efficient, and some of the theories we're studying are great, but implementing them in a real-world government setting is a whole different ballgame.
Tell me about it, Azrai. Even in the police force, applying what we learn isn't always straightforward. The concept of the strategic management are helpful, but when you're dealing with human factors, motivating recruits, managing stress during training, and trying to innovate within a strict structure. It gets complicated.
You're right. It's one thing to understand this concept on paper, and another to make them to work in practice. Take change management for example. We studied it last semester, and while it made sense in class, trying to implement it at JPJ, that's a whole different story. People resist change, especially in government agency where things have been done a certain way for years. It's hard to break that mold.
Exactly. You nailed it. In the police force, the culture is deeply embedded, especially with senior officers who've been around for decades. Even small changes in training protocols are met with resistance. It's like people are wired to do things the old way. How are you handling that at JPJ? I imagine it's a similar situation, Azrai.
Oh, absolutely. At JPJ, even suggesting sometimes is simple as moving more process online face pushback. You think digitizing service will be a no-brainer, but there's always someone who think the old manual way is better. Plus, not everyone's comfortable with technology, so I have to tread carefully. Applying what we learned about stakeholder management and strategic communication from the degree program has helped a lot. Tough.
Stakeholder management, yeah, that's something I've been trying to apply with the senior officers at the academy. It's about getting buy-in from them before introducing any changes. I've started to pitch ideas in a way that shows how they can benefit from the new methods, instead of just focusing on the improvements for the recruits. It's slow, but I think it's working. Have you tried anything similar?
Definitely. I've learned that you can just throw new ideas at people and accept them to embrace them immediately. You have to communicate that benefit in a way that speak to their concern. For the older staff at JPJ, I am perceive how going digital can reduce their workload in the long run. They're more open to the idea when they see it as a way to make their job easier, not as a replacement for their expertise.
That's smart. You're right. It's all about positioning the change as a win-win. It reminds me of the leadership models we studied. I've been trying to adopt a more transformational leadership style in my training, instead of just instructing recruits on what to do. I'm encouraging them to think critically, to be proactive. It's not always easy, but I think it's making a difference.
I'm sure it is. Leadership plays such a crucial role, especially in public service. I've been trying to lead my example at JPJ, showing my college that even though it's tough, balancing work and study is possible. I'm hoping it inspires some of them to consider further education, or at least be open to new ideas. Have you noticed a difference in your leadership style since starting the degree?
Absolutely. Before, I was more focused on the practical side of training, how to get recruits to meet physical and tactical requirements. Now, I'm much more aware of the bigger picture. I'm thinking about how to develop them as well-rounded officers who can think strategically, make decisions under pressure, and lead others in the future. The degree is definitely shaping the way I approach my job.
Same here. I used to focus solely on the operational side, getting this done quickly and efficiently. But now, I'm more conscious of the long-term impact. The degree is teaching us to think in terms of system and governance, which has changed how I approach policy implementation at JPJ. It's about building sustainable process, not just quick fix.
That's such a good point. Sustainability is key, especially in public service. We're not just doing this for ourselves. We're doing it for the future of our departments. I've been thinking a lot about how to improve the training curriculum so that it remains relevant as the police force evolves. How do we prepare recruits for challenges we can't even foresee yet?
That's a tough one. We're dealing with the same thing at JPJ. How do we make sure our policy and process can adapt to future change in technology, regulations, and even public expectation? It's something I think about constantly, especially with the rapid pace of digital transformation. The degree has been helpful in giving us frameworks to think through this challenge, but sometimes it still feels overwhelming.
No kidding. It feels like we're in a constant state of catching up with what's coming next. But at least we're getting tools from the degree to handle it better. I feel like before I was just reacting to problems as they came up. Now I'm thinking more strategically about risk management, policy implication, even ethical considerations that I might have overlooked before.
Exactly. I used to get bogged down in the day-to-day details, but now I'm trying to focus on the bigger picture. What are we doing today that's going to make our department more efficient and effective in the future? It's a shift in mindset that I would have had without this degree.
Totally. And even thoughts it's tough to balance everything. I know this degree is going to open doors for us. I mean, we're not just doing this for the sake of getting a diploma. We're investing in ourselves and our careers. Where do you see yourself going after this, Azrai?
Honestly, I love to move into a more strategic role at JPJ. Maybe policy planning or even leading a department focused on digital transformation. I think there's a lot of potential to improve how we serve the public, and I want to be a part of that change. What about you?
I'm thinking along the same lines. I love being a trainer, but I like to move into a leadership position where I can have a bigger influence on police operations. Maybe work on policy development for the entire force. We need more innovation, and I think we can bring that after completing this degree.
For sure, we're building a foundation that's going to take us to the next level in our career. It's hard now, but it will be worth it in the end.
Absolutely, Azrai. We just have to keep pushing through. One assignment, one workday at a time.
Yeah, one day at a time. But they at last were in his together, right? It helps knowing someone else understand what it's like.
Couldn't agree more, Azrai. We've got this. We need to keep pushing forward. Keep it up, Azrai. Okay, that's all about our discussion. And a very big thankful for your watching. And then see you next time. Okay, bye.